Welcome to the Mexico City 2017 Hyundai World Archery Championships, the top level of archery anywhere in the world, where nearly 400 athletes from over 60 countries arrived 10 days ago with one hope in mind, of being crowned world champion. We started the week with qualifications, then on to bracket elimination rounds, and finally to the final field to wrap up an amazing week of archery. Today is Recurve Sunday, and we're right here in the Zocalo. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside me, Vanessa Lee, who shot for Team Canada since 2006 and been to a couple of these games, Pan Am games. Welcome, Vanessa. The crowd right here is spectacular. What do you think about the day?
I am so happy to be here, Greg, and it's a beautiful day here. There's a slight wind coming in, but everyone's excited.
Mexico City, Mexico, boasting nearly 22 million people in the metropolitan area, is one of the largest cities in the world, and is no stranger to world archery. Hosting the 2015 World Cup Finals, the excitement to return to the Zocalo for the biannual World Championships was high, and today the finals are here, and we are getting ready to crown world champions. Vanessa, you're talking about this wind being tricky, but the weather and the wind here in Mexico City, especially at this altitude, has been tricky, I guess, at best. Not high winds, but just low, tricky winds.
Yeah, and I think especially in this square that we're in right now, the winds are going to be a little bit tricky. It's hard to predict. Yesterday, I think some people were shooting a little bit high, and at times it was a little unpredictable, but we'll see how the athletes get accustomed to the conditions.
So here's what's on tap for us today at the Hyundai World Archery Championships here in Mexico City. We have Recurve women team, bronze and gold, and then the men will come out and shoot for bronze and gold medals. And very interesting the way that teams work. We're going to explain that to you. But as we look at the crowd, and they have absolutely streamed in and packed in for this event here in the Zocalo, here's how the brackets worked. All right, so you can see that the maximum points you need to score in order to advance was 5, Korea scoring 6, and it was Korea advancing over China, Mexico. So there you see Korea, Mexico will shoot for gold, and China and Chinese Taipei will compete for the bronze. The first match of the day for Recurve Sunday is for the women's team bronze medal, and it's between China and Chinese Taipei. As the Chinese women make their way to the stage, we're going to see 3 very talented athletes going for bronze today. Cao Hui, Lan Lu, and Zheng Dan on the Chinese side. And they had quite a run to come into it too. And you know, Vanessa, you and I were talking off camera as we take a look at these archers from China. What was interesting, and the only time that this has happened this week in competition, is that we actually have the first, second, third, and fourth place qualifiers that have made it to the final rounds.
And that's really exciting to see. We're seeing the best archers in the world competing for these medals right now.
And now coming to the stage, Chinese Taipei. And shooting for Chinese Taipei is Lin Yu Sun, Lin Shiqia, and Tan Ya-Ting.
It's a very young team, but Tan Ya-Ting, she's going to lead this team. She's extremely experienced, and I'm excited to see how they shoot today.
So this is unique. You know, a lot of people think that archery is an individual sport, and it is later on today. But right now, it's all about the team. So, Vanessa, tell us a little bit about the format. How does the team shoot work?
Yeah, so each team will shoot 3 arrows at a time, and then they will alternate. They will shoot a total of 6 arrows for 1 set. The first team to 5 set points wins, and you get set points by shooting the highest score each end.
All right, so athletes will now, these teams, they've been able to practice together during this week, if not at home. Really depends on where the athlete lives and what the organization or the structure of the country's archery program looks like. But they've had a chance to decide what order they're going to shoot in. Important, you think?
Very important. And you know, for an environment like this, when you're at the finals, the World Championships, you want to have confidence in yourself, but you want to have trust in your teammates.
So we're getting ready for our first arrows. This is Recurve Archery. If you joined us yesterday, compound archery, it's a bow and it's an arrow, but it's a lot different. This is more what you see, this is exactly what you see in the Olympics. So Chinese Taipei will start off. The target 70 meters downrange. That's nearly 77 yards if you're from the States.
Tanya Ting's anchoring for the team.
So a 9 to start off with. Now what they're shooting at is a 122 centimeter target. That's 70 meters downrange. And the 10 ring itself is only 12.2 centimeters in diameter.
It's about the size of a grapefruit at 70 meters. 10.
Nice.
Fantastic shot.
Outstanding shot. You'll notice left part of your screen as well. 120 seconds to execute all 6 shots. So athletes have to step off and on the line. And after this third shot, the athlete has to step off the line. Their clock will stop. Oof. That's a 10-9 liner right there. Initially, World Archery is calling it a 10. Now, if you're new and you're watching archery for the first time, this is team competition, but what's universal is every time we shoot a set of arrows, in this case 6, we go down and retrieve those arrows, it's called an end.
10.
Good start.
Fantastic start for China. They often call the first archer the anchor or the windsock. They're just going to aim right in the middle, and they'll tell you where the wind is going.
Ooh, dropped it right down below.
8-9 liner, it looks like.
8-9 liner.
An 8. Ooh, high 7 from Zhang.
That was a big surprise there.
See what Tanya Ting does. Nice confident shot.
Okay. In the same spot though.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's when we have the ability, just like those archers, to check out, and the coaches that are in the coaches box, to look at those windsocks.
You can see she's making some adjustments to her sight there.
Yep. Another good shot.
Fantastic. They're all off to the left a little bit. I wonder if their coach is going to tell them something.
You know, we saw this yesterday in the compound shooting too, is that a lot of those arrows in the afternoon especially were falling to the left. Could be the fact of just how our temporary stadium is built here in the Zocalo.
Another one to the left.
Right, but a good score to start off for Chinese Taipei.
57.
So 57. Still 30 points available for China.
Even with 3 10s, China's going to be behind by 2 points.
So that would mean, though, that we already know that the set goes to Chinese Taipei.
That's right.
In set scoring. So Vanessa talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Good, solid 10. That's what China needs.
Even though they've already lost the set, I mean, it's good for confidence, and they want to keep shooting the arrows so that they can be more familiar with the venue here.
Set win means 2 points. A tie splits them 1-1.
Another 10.
Much better shot, considering that last shot was a 7.
Definitely.
So Chinese Taipei out to the lead early, 2 set points. If they tie and score on one of these ends, then they split the points 1-1. First one to 5 gets bronze.
So it's been a while. China's been actually very dominant. They used to be dominant about 5-10 years ago, but it's cool to see them at this stage again and doing well.
10, 9, 8, 7. Target.
Good look at our slow-mo shots from World Archery as we look at some of the equipment. If you're a shooter and you're shooting back home, maybe at your local, your local range, your local shop, and you may just have a bare bow, recurve bow. Let's talk about a difference between just, a bow and what these athletes are shooting here.
So one of the most frequently asked questions, other than can you shoot an apple off my head, is what are those things hanging off the bow, like the big long dangly things, and we call them stabilizers. Basically what they do is 2 main things. They put the weight away from your hand, so it's going to make your shot a lot steadier. The second thing is they also minimize vibration. After you let go of the string, there's a lot of vibration going through your bow, and they're going to try and dampen that as much as possible.
Great, and we'll see that again in some of the slow-mo shots as we get through this match. So China getting together, and it's all about team spirit. It's all about communication as well in team rounds.
Exactly.
You talk about the first archer being the windsock, and they're the ones who are going to basically have the sacrificial shot.
Yep.
They're going to turn around and communicate with the team. The coach also behind them in the coach's box there to give them some feedback and some information as well.
So here's Tao He. Let's see how she can help her team out and hopefully get a good start.
With China being back in points. that team leads off the end. Taipei off to the left.
Felt like she held a little bit long there, but we'll have to see if her other shots are like that. Banlu.
It's still off to the left.
Yep.
You know, looking at the windsocks right now, the interesting thing about this field of play, we have windsocks on each side of the range, and oftentimes they're different. Okay, so that was our first one that we've seen that's on the right side of the target. So 8-9-9 to start off for the People's Republic of China.
Against a team like Chinese Taipei, you're going to have to start shooting 10s. There we go.
Nice shot. Wow. Fantastic.
I feel like those sight adjustments that Tanya Ting made are crucial.
Once again, the distance for recurve, 70 meters downrange. That 10 ring only 12.2 centimeters, or 4.8 inches if you're from the States. 9, good solid 9. You want to at least, in these rounds, keep it in the yellow. That's like goal number 1 is to keep it in the yellow. Stabilizer rod's a good shot, sitting off the front and the sides.
Oh, beautiful shot. I love that shot right there. She just looked confident, smooth. There wasn't any hesitation with it.
And those smiles in team competition, you know, high fives, smiles, it's infectious, and it really helps the team out. Because, you know, when you have a 2-0 lead, like Chinese Taipei has, and you've seen what's going on with China, just like that, another 8.
Another 8 to the left.
Cao Wei just hasn't been able to just find her particular rhythm yet. But when you have that lead as Chinese Taipei, sometimes if your team doesn't keep you loose, you can get tight. There it is for China.
Nice
Beautiful.
Shot.
Into that X ring.
Interesting. Did you see Zhang Dan's bum there?
Yeah.
She was actually just bending it a little bit, which I've actually never really seen.
And that threw a 7.
Yeah.
So maybe just a little bit of a mental error there.
She looked a little flustered by it.
Yeah.
That looked confident.
Wow. I mean, Chinese Taipei putting on a clinic right now.
You wouldn't expect anything less from a veteran archer like Tanya Ting. Only 23, but we can call her a veteran because she is so good.
She is good. Ranked 6th in the world, Tanya Ting. Oh, wow.
And then another next.
Unbelievable. Good shot of the archer's stance and how they keep that bow off the ground.
She's a very square stance to the target.
And a solid in the yellow.
That'll do.
That's it. 4-0 for Chinese Taipei as they take a 58-51 win in that end. Now there's 4 ends scheduled, but whoever gets to 5 first, and the way this is looking like for Chinese Taipei and China, Chinese Taipei in command of this match with a 4-0 lead. So the situation right now is pretty simple to understand. If China can win outright, it'll go 2-4. If there's a tie, Chinese Taipei will win because they'll split 1-1. And of course, if Chinese Taipei wins, they'll win 6-0, and the bronze medal is on the line.
Some great slow-mo shots there. Another question that we get asked pretty frequently is, why do the bows swing like that? That's actually because we're not hanging onto the bow. We're not gripping it. The bow is staying in our hand because when we draw back, the weight of our limbs is keeping the bow in our hands. And when we let go of that, all the force is going directly towards the target, is directing the arrow towards the target, and gravity then takes over and swings the bow like that.
Great tip. So if you're inspired, you've never shot before, and you're inspired to go down to your local archery range, archery shop, and get on a bow, that's a good tip.
Make sure you have a sling first, or else your bow is just going to keep going towards the target and not swing.
Unless you have unbelievable timing the first time you shoot, try to grab it. But yeah, because you are pulling that bow apart, and so it has nice enough force on the inside of your hand to stay still. All right, I like the team. I like the team camaraderie here.
It's do or die here. They need to win this set.
That's right. All's on the line for China for the bronze medal. Can they stay in it? This is the good thing about set scoring, is that even though it's 4-0, if China can win these next 2 sets, we're going to go to a shoot-off, a tiebreaker. So here we go. This first arrow could really set the tone
Definitely.
for the rest of this end.
Definitely get some momentum with a good first shot. Good timing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice shot.
Cheers from her teammates.
See a little bit of a smile there.
Yep.
See Lan Lu.
Can Lan Lu capitalize on the energy being produced by China right now?
Good timing. But 8.
I mean, it looked like such a good shot.
It did look like a good shot.
So not over yet by any stretch of the imagination.
Now Zhang Dan.
Okay, in the 9 ring, keeping it in the gold. 27, not a bad way to start off.
Not a
Normally,
bad way.
but the way Chinese Taipei has been
Yep.
shooting right now.
They dropped 3 points in the first set, 2 points in the next set. 9 to start off.
Yep. So
I love that shot of her eyes just focusing on the target. She didn't even flinch.
So another 9 will tie things up here.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so for the moment, with 3 arrows left to shoot, China has the lead.
That's right. Let's see if they can capitalize on this opportunity right now.
She do what she did just moments ago on her first arrow of set 3.
9.
Solid.
Yeah, look at their arrows. It's just all slightly to the left.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
an 8.
2 in a row in this set for China.
Understand, she just has a slightly open stance there. Some people think it adds some stability.
Ocho.
52 for the end.
Big opportunity for China here. They just couldn't capitalize on it, unless disaster for Chinese Taipei. They've got to get back to that 10 rhythm.
8. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
What's going on?
What's going on is the pressure of a bronze medal at the Mexico City 2017 Hyundai World Archery Championships. Vanessa, could the wheels be falling off Chinese Taipei in this set?
All they need is a tie.
Oh!
My! Oh!
The crowd. Okay, so here's the deal. A 10 wins it, all right? Even with the scores we've seen, a 10, because a 10 would tie and they would split. So all the pressure is on right now.
It comes down
They
to
want
Lin.
to close down this bronze medal.
Oh!
Just a millimeter
my
or 2,
goodness.
if you can believe
So
that.
close.
And that is archery at its finest. So a millimeter or 2 difference in that target at 70 meters away. I mean, think about that, Vanessa. Different anchor point, a little bit of pressure in the wrist. Anything could happen to make up that millimeter, and they're walking away with bronze. And now the door's been kicked open for China to claw back into this thing.
I'm sure China is having big sighs of relief right now, and they're going to start getting some momentum here, hopefully.
Who would have ever been able to predict that Chinese Taipei in set number 2 shoots a 58, 10, 9, 10, 10, 10, 9. They come back with a 51, 3 9s and 3 8s. I mean, could this be the momentum swing that China needs? How big would it be if they could come back from the 4-0 deficit that they had and the way they've been shooting
It would
to
be
win
huge.
a bronze medal?
It would be huge, but it's just so exciting because, you know, they can shoot a 54 or 51 in the first 2 ends. Chinese Taipei shoots a 57, 58. They forget those arrows. You start completely fresh on a new end.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the good thing about set scoring system.
I wonder if Chinese Taipei started thinking about their bronze.
That would be my guess. But
So
what do I
close.
know?
Let's see what happens. My blood is pumping right
Right?
now.
Exactly. Hearts pumping, goosebumps all around. This crowd is responding.
It's a packed stadium here.
One thing I want you to take notice of is China now has some smiles on their faces instead of grimaces. You know, they know what's at stake, and that's the difference.
Look at Chinese Taipei now.
Right, exactly. A little long in the face. It's that momentum swing. It's that attitude. It's got to keep that energy up, and that's where a good team with good communication and keeping it light really helps.
They're going to all have to focus on the process here, not the outcome. If they can focus on what they're doing, the arrows are going to go in the middle. Eight.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Let's see how their teammates respond. Oh.
It's funny because when we're sitting here looking at the score, we're like, but we don't know what Chinese Taipei is going to do. There we go, in the gold.
Oh my goodness,
all right.
all on the left.
I know, all on the left.
I'm sure they've been making slight adjustment. You see another one right there, but
you know, yesterday in compound shooting, the one thing that Steve Anderson, who shot this field earlier on in the day yesterday, said is that it's very deceiving. Good 9.
to the right.
One of the few we've seen to the right. But the way that this venue is set up, it's very deceiving because the stands are a lot closer than some of the other venues. And so it makes the target look a little bit different in terms of a distance. It makes the target look closer.
Really?
Yeah.
It could just go. 8. The medal could go to the team that can adjust to the conditions quicker than the other team.
Yeah.
Could be just that.
Could be just that. Windsock's barely moving. There is a little bit of a right to left breeze.
8. Oh my goodness, tied.
Wow. Wow.
Chinese Taipei only needs to tie this set. That's all they need.
It is coming down to it for the bronze medal in women's team competition.
10.
That looks like a 10. Now that is just applying the pressure to Chinese Taipei. Got a 9-liner. Okay, so the 9 asterisks, that's the first time we've seen it so far. That's going to be a question mark. It'll be judged by a judge.
Oh my goodness.
No question about that one. Right in the middle.
Fantastic shot.
Right in the X-ring.
They're definitely putting the pressure on Chinese Taipei right now.
I mean, that 9 asterisks looks like a 10 to me, but World Archery judges will see it when this is over. Up in the 8 ring. 8 high, but a 52. So interesting from China, 54, 51, 52, 52. The team trending downward in this one is definitely Chinese Taipei. There's an answer with a 10.
Fantastic.
These archers do have, you can see out of the front of that bow, that is a sight with a pin or a scope. No lenses allowed, no magnification.
10. Nice shot.
Unbelievable.
All they need is an 8 here.
That liner is going to make the difference. You know, what you want to do is shoot a 9 or a 10. Just shoot a 10 and you know you have it. It doesn't matter what that score is going to be after the judge looks at it. Quick release.
Yes!
Wow.
Oh my gosh, bronze.
How about
Chinese
that?
Taipei. Oh.
Chinese Taipei answers with 3 10s, a 30 in the back half of this set, and they will take it 6-2 over China and wrap up the bronze medal in what ended up being a heart pounder towards the end of this one.
They opened up the door for China in the middle there, but they definitely closed it at the end.
Lin Yuswen, Lin Shiqia, and Tanya Ting will get to stand on the podium a little bit later on this morning. Into the afternoon, actually, the early afternoon, with a great display of archery. So they opened up with a 57 to take the first 2 points over China. Then a 58, 4-10 shot in that one. And then let's just call it a bit of a stumble.
A little bit.
A little bit of a stumble with a 51, and they came back with a strong 55 to win it 6-2 here at the Mexico City 2017 Hyundai World Archery Championships. And there's a look to confirm the winner, Chinese Taipei, as they will now clear the stage.
Great sportsmanship on behalf of China, going to shake the judge's hand after their match.
Yeah. So a good job by Chinese Taipei, who is after the ranking day, were ranked second and able to wrap up a bronze medal. And coming up next is going to be the gold medal match for women's team competition. And we expect to see much the same. A close match is right around the corner.
I am so excited for this next match. We have the home team, Mexico against Korea.
Unbelievable. And the crowd here is going to go absolutely ballistic.
That's right.
There's not a seat left in the house.
You can hear it. They know what's coming up. That's fantastic.
It's time to crown world champions as we get set for the women's team gold medal match here on Recurve Sunday. And coming to the stage right now, the #1 ranked team in team competition in the world and in this tournament, Korea. And on stage for Korea, Chang Hae-jin, Chao Mi-sun, and Tong Chae-young. And what a talented group of archers. I mean, unbelievable. This program in Korea is spectacular. You know, you've been over there and you've shot in that program a couple times, Vanessa. It is, they're kind of the Goliath, aren't they, of team competition?
They are the Goliath. They're, you know, small in stature, but they're big.
And what about the team from Mexico?
The crowd is going nuts. I am so excited to see this team together. They had a couple of years where they weren't shooting together, but they have great chemistry, excellent communication, and I'm so excited to see them shoot today.
As the crowd enjoys seeing their archers, we have Aida Roman, Alejandra Valencia, and Marina Abitia. Ranked 4th in the world, you can see their event arrow average and the matches they've won. This is something special for Mexico City and all of the fans that showed up here today. Just really in Mexico putting on a great display and riding a lot of momentum. You know, oftentimes in archery when we have the qualification rounds and the elimination rounds, you're just shooting. You know, there's teams around but not a lot of fans. But when every time Mexico was shooting any round during the week, there were people around banging on the drum and cheering for the teams, and it was quite something to behold, for sure.
Especially after the London 2012 Olympics, where Aida Roman won silver and Mariana Avitia won bronze. The whole country has really started paying attention to archery even more than they already did.
Korea will start first. They're on target #1, Mexico on target #2. Important arrow to start the momentum here for Korea. Again, off to the left.
Not surprised it's off to the left.
No. You see the communication between teammates and the
Just
sight
at her sight.
adjustment. Yep,
That's a lot of trust.
it is.
Quick shot. 9. Just told her to be aware of when she draws into her face.
Is that right?
8 high.
8 high.
But her left to right was good.
And now, the hometown favorites. Good shot.
Yeah.
On what looked like a little bit of a shaky hold, honestly.
A little
That
bit,
shot
yeah.
that we had, yeah, a lot of nerves here.
It's a good shot of Mariana Vitia. She actually locks her knees when she's shooting. 8. Uncharacteristic start for both teams, but we'll see how they change their sights or get accustomed to this environment.
First time to shoot on this field as well. Now here's Aida Roman, silver medalist at the Olympics.
X.
There it is.
Nice shot.
That's why she's the anchor. So Aida Roman showing us why she's a silver medal Olympian. Back to Korea.
So they're changing the order here.
Gold.
Hi. Choi Mi-sun is shooting second now.
Okay.
I think they're going
길게 들어가야 돼. 길게.
first to third, then third to
끝까지
first.
버텨줘. 그렇지.
10.
shot.
Nice shot.
혜준아 차분하게. 시간 많아. 차분하게. 끝까지 해줘야 돼. 끝까지.
Oh,
That's an 8-9 liner. If it just touches the line, you get the higher value. So that's going to have an asterisk there, and the judge will have to take a look at it. Back to Mexico.
open stance there. 9 low. It looked like she was just sort of struggling to get through the clicker a bit.
Yeah, you can see that. That's what
Yeah,
she's
I'd love
talking
to
her
see a
coach
little bit
about.
of a smoother shot and smoother expansion.
Alejandra Valencia with a 9. Now here's Habib.
Just matched her teammates.
What's interesting about Mariana is on her release, the way her stabilizer is set up, you notice there's no real forward roll, forward motion
That's
of her
right.
bow. It just stops right on her thigh. Aida Roman. Nice.
10.
So 2 10s as the crowd explodes, and Mexico will take an early lead, 2-0. Even with that 8 asterisks by Korea, that would, even if it was a 9, it'd be 53 points. Mexico starts off with 55.
As you were saying, Greg, you know, Mariana Vitia's her limb actually just hits her leg every single time, which actually I used to do when I was shooting. It just makes
Does
you
it
feel, it doesn't really hurt, which is good, but it makes it feel consistent. If it hits the same every single time, you know that you released it and your bow hand was as relaxed every single time.
Perfect. Yeah, just the style, just a difference in shooting style.
Exactly. Everybody shoots a little bit different, whatever works for them.
I love the steely look on Aida Roman's face.
That's right.
Wow. If you could feel the energy through your television or through your phone or through whatever device you're watching this on, your computer, it is absolutely electric here in the Sokolo.
If anybody's going to challenge this first-ranked Korean team, I think it's this team right here, the Mexican women.
If they wrap this up, it's going to be pandemonium here in this final field. Very unique way to shoot. Normally we shoot on solid ground. This is actually an elevated platform. A lot of the athletes come onto that platform earlier in the day to test it to see how it feels, to make sure it's solid footing behind them. A great look at the crowd here that's arrived on a beautiful Sunday in Mexico City.
Chang Hye-jin will start off again,
차분하게.
telling her to shoot relaxed.
끝까지. 좋아.
It's a little bit better, still off to the left.
But a solid score.
들어오는 거 신경 쓰자.
If Korea can just clean up these 8s and just keep moving towards the middle of the target.
좋아. 끝까지 해줘. 계속 버텨야 돼.
Nice,
Beautiful.
nice shot.
Still that tendency though, off to the left.
태영아 들어오는 거 신경 써.
What
힘주지
Vanessa and I
말고.
are looking at as we see all the archers, knock up their arrows. We're also looking to see if they're making any adjustments on the sight or
계속
anything.
해줘. 계속.
Seemed like a long hold to you?
It did seem long. I know Kang Chae-young, she can have a long hold sometimes and still shoot a good shot, but maybe she's just feeling the pressure a little bit. And low. They don't have any arrows high of the target, so maybe they're going to make some adjustments downwards.
Deep breath, calm the nerves.
Focus on their eyes.
Oh,
High.
looked like a good shot from our tight shot, but
You know, Mariana actually has a pretty short hold. That seemed a little bit long for her, so maybe she was trying to force the arrow through the clicker a little bit, and maybe that's why it went high.
let's talk about the clicker.
So the clicker actually is a draw check. It helps you realize that you've drawn back this exact same distance every single time. An 8.
Roman with the flinch, so now behind 27-25.
태영아 스타일대로 하면 돼.
After we
왼쪽
get through
버텨주고
these next 6 arrows, we'll talk more about that clicker.
뒷점 끊기지 않게.
Oh my goodness,
That's
8
an
high.
7-liner. Looks like a solid 8, though. Thought Korea had an opportunity here.
길게 들어가자.
Really stomp on the gas, being 2 points ahead in this set.
버텨줘. 계속.
Nice shot from Chun-Sun.
Good, and the points they needed.
차분하게 시간 많아.
See the speed of the arrow, 199 kilometers per hour.
차분하게. 끝까지 해줘야 돼. 끝까지.
Quick shot.
Beautiful.
Nice 10.
So a solid 55 for Korea.
The best Mexico can do right now is tie the set.
And in order to tie the set, they have to shoot perfect. This arrow could determine it. Oh, that's a 7. So there you go. We know for sure. These next 2 arrows are very important to shoot. Like we were talking about earlier, it's for confidence. It's also to help boost the team.
Exactly.
But Korea will take the set. We're going to go into set number 3 all tied up.
Great shot.
Yep. Oh yeah, I see. So after her release, it's actually just the bottom limb just touches the thigh and just has a nice gentle bounce.
Very consistent. I love it.
Tienes 15. Fuerte disparo, controlado.
Oh, 7.
2.
I don't know if you saw that from behind, but it looks to me like Ida just has the slightest cant on her bow. Canting to the right just a bit, which may affect her left and right. But, I mean, an archer like Ida, she's very consistent and shoots very well, so I'm sure she knows
But
exactly what she's doing.
uncharacteristic, last 2 arrows from Ida, 8 and a 7. So Roman listening to the coach, right, as a team, so now we're all tied up. So again, Vanessa, you talked about this, 55 to 49. 49 for a gold medal match is extremely low for a team, but those arrows are now forgotten about. Well, you hope they can forget about the arrows. The score
Exactly.
definitely is forgotten about because we're in a set scoring system. But that's what Mexico needs to do, find the rhythm they had and open up the match.
Exactly.
Maybe they need a boost from this crowd.
Maybe. Mexico really needs to regroup and, again, focus on the process, what they're doing, what their shot's going to feel like. Nice slow motion of Chang. You can see her really relaxed bow hand and the bow just sliding out.
The announcers here trying to get the crowd into this match for their home team. Must be pretty interesting standing on stage as the Korean archers to know that these people, they're not cheering against them, they're just cheering louder for the other team.
Knowing the Korean team, they have very, very strong mental game.
화이팅! 차분하게.
Oldest of the team, Chang Ye-jin, to start off again.
차분하게. 끝까지 버텨줘. 끝까지. 계속 버티면 돼. 좋아! 잘했어.
Almost matched her last arrow.
진짜 길게 들어가자. 길게. 끝까지 버텨주면 돼. 좋아. 계속 버텨줘. 좋아. 잘하고 있어. 좋아!
God, 2 arrows just out the 10.
And to the left.
Coach is smiling though,
들어오는 거 신경 써.
telling her to be aware of when she draws into her face.
계속.
great group.
Good group.
Size of the X.
Yeah.
Just wish it was a little bit towards 2 o'clock.
Good communication going on right now with the Korean team, no question about it.
Oh, no, a little low. Alejandra Valencia is just having a hard time with her up and down arrows right now.
Just can't find. She did make it a little click, little adjustment on that clicker. Or on the sight clicks.
I think he just fell off the string. Okay.
Now we're going to see if Roman can regroup after shooting 8-7. Last set. 9.
Seems like she felt it going to the left. She tried to redirect it to the right a bit after the shot.
Yeah. Smile from Aida. Roman. 1 point now the difference.
들어오는 거 신경 써. 힘좀 끊기지 않게. 계속.
Oh, great group, but still to the left.
길게 들어가자.
Another peek at the wind socks. And they're actually blowing, if you had to say a direction, a little bit to the right.
좋아. 계속 버텨줘.
Oh,
Wow.
oh my goodness.
Spider right
Wonderful
in the middle.
shot.
시간 많아. 차분하게. 차분하게 시간 많아. 차분하게.
That is not the shot Mexico wanted to see by any stretch.
좋아. 계속 버텨줘.
9. Look at that group.
Unbelievable. So 55. So Mexico with an opportunity to steal 2 set points if they can shoot 30. They need 3 10s in a row. Oof.
9 for Alejandra.
So Mexico now is going to drop 4 sets to 2.
That's right.
There's only 20 points available from this point forward.
Looks like her bow arm is just shaking just a bit. Oh, but it's a 10.
10.
Tienes tiempo. Prepáralo bien.
Plenty of time left on the clock. And that is more not for set points, but really for confidence
Exactly.
moving forward. As now the #1 team in the world, the #1 qualifier in round rankings, in the ranking rounds, ahead now 4-2. I mean, the crowd is going to go crazy, of course. If Mexico can come back, it would be absolutely amazing, as Korea seems to have all the momentum. But if you're just watching this for the first time, this is the gold medal match, so you're guaranteed a medal.
Exactly.
The moment you walk in, you're guaranteed a medal. So Mexico already with the silver medal just trying to claw its way up to gold.
There's Alejandra just making a couple side adjustments.
You know, what do you think her mindset is right now as we look at some of these replays? Her mindset of, can you get to that point where you're thinking, I'm dragging this team down right now, and then it spiral out of control?
You know, it does happen. I mean, but that's all about how you can change your focus on from negative thinking to some positive thinking. You have to stop those thoughts and, you know, rely on your team and realize you're part of this team too. You're not dragging them down.
Now Mexico will shoot first because they're behind in the match. Just have a feeling right now that this arrow that's getting ready to be shot is going to set the tone for this set.
That's right. We know Alejandra Valencia is a great archer, and without a doubt, she can shoot 10s.
Valencia ranked 4th in the world at 23 years old. Has plenty of experience. Let's see if she can pick it up. Start to carry her team right now.
Way out to the left.
Fuerte, Mariana. Buena postura.
Marianne has a very consistent pre-shot routine.
las dos.
9.
Segura, Ida, firme.
They need Roman right now. They need her. This crowd needs her to shoot a 10.
Fuerte, fuerte.
Again, the bow is tilted.
Yep.
It's cantered just a little bit.
A little bit. You know, as long as it's consistent, that's all right.
Right.
But it can definitely add a little bit of variability to your shot if it's not.
끝까지 해줘야 돼. 끝까지.
Quick shot. She's been a little bit low this whole match.
Now keep in mind, all Korea has to do is tie, and
That's
they win the
right.
gold medal.
길게.
Telling her to draw in
좋아.
long.
버텨줘.
Draw in long.
계속
Yeah.
버티면 돼. 끝까지 해줘. 끝까지. 좋아. 이제야.
9.
Mexico's not happy to see that right now.
들어오는 거 신경써 들어오는 거. 진짜 뺏기지 않게 계속 해줘. 계속 해야 돼.
Keep pulling.
9.
9. Only 1 point separates them right now.
Disfruta ese disparo.
Very archery educated crowd.
10.
There you go.
That's it.
Crowd explodes.
Fantastic shot.
Boy, she needed that too.
Yep.
Buena postura, cara quieta. Grande, fuerte.
Right, solid. The anchor, Aida Ramon.
Fuerte y controlado.
Focus on her face tells the story of how important this shot is. This could be the last shot for Mexico.
Sigue creciendo.
Roman, right in the
Wonderful
middle.
shot.
And look at her face.
That's what they needed right now.
Putting the pressure on Korea.
들어오는 거 신경 써. 일단 연결하고.
Korea needs a 28 with their next 3 arrows to win the gold. That's
Wow,
nice
what a
shot.
start.
일단 들어오는 거 신경 써라.
That could be the shot.
길게 들어가야 돼. 길게. 좋아. 계속 버텨줘. 끝까지.
Oh, another X.
Wow, an 8 to win.
Goodness.
An 8 will tie it up.
시간 많아.
This
차분하게.
for gold.
Comes down to double Olympic gold medalist Chang Hae-jin.
And there she does
Oh, fantastic shooting from Korea.
it. Wow, what a competition. And way to end the final set. All 3 archers in the 10 ring, 57 to 55. Korea crowned world champions in Mexico City. Of course, they confirm all the scores.
Target number 2, X 10 9 998. Target number 1. Yes.
What a way to finish the match. 3 10s. I mean, they definitely won the gold today. It's like Chang Hae-jin's having some cramps or something.
The Mexican crowd really enjoying the fact that their team has won silver and congratulating the Korean archers.
Just grabbing her stomach there.
Congratulations to all the athletes.
Unbelievable. The set point system doesn't necessarily tell the actual intensity of this match. An outstanding 6-2 victory for Korea, but there were so many moments here that were so tense. As we look at those slow-mo shots, you can see the energy of the bow being released.
Yeah, there's just the bow sliding through her fingers there, directly heading towards the target.
Smiles across the board for a team that will stand on top of the podium a little bit later on today. So congratulations to the Korean women. Chang Hae-jin, Chang Mi-san, and Kang Chae-young get to stand on the podium. Next up, we have recurve men. Bronze medal and gold medal matches coming up. This team competition is going to be exciting. A lot of people thought it was a foregone conclusion that Korea would make it into the gold medal match, but no, Korea will face off against Canada, and Italy and France will go for the gold. A spectacular crowd on hand today for Recurve Sunday, and they just witnessed a Mexican team fighting tooth and nail for gold, but Korea too strong today. As we await the arrival of our next match. And now coming to the stage in the field set for final competition for bronze in the men's team. Korea takes the stage. We have three very talented archers with a lot of experience. Im Dong-hyun, Kim Woo-jin, and Oh Jin-hyo. How'd they do?
Perfect.
Pretty good?
Really good.
Unbelievable. World ranking #1, outstanding arrow average for this team. They also were the #1 team in round qualifications as well. So it was a bit of a surprise when they got knocked off by Italy in a great match. Now coming up, your home country, Canada.
This is going to be a tough match for me to watch. My goodness, I'm Korean-Canadian, so my heart is torn right now.
The Canadians have had quite a march to this bronze medal match. They were ranked 14th as their 20th in the world. Crispin Duenas, Brian Maxwell, and Hamilton Nguyen, who his team affectionately calls him Hammy. That's what
right.
we're going to call him. So Hammy Nguyen.
I don't know if you could see, but Hammy has a slightly shorter arrow in his quiver. Actually, that belongs to his girlfriend right now, Virginie Chenier, winning him some points.
Nice job. Well done. So we are set now for the bronze medal match. Have you had a chance to talk to any of the Canadian archers? I know that they, what are their feelings? Are they excited or are they nervous going into this round?
I mean, nobody really wants to shoot Korea ever.
Yeah, right.
But I spoke to the guys. They're very excited for the challenge, and I think they're going to do very well. I'm excited to see them here.
I saw them on the practice range 2 days ago, Canada, and they actually were shooting with France and simulating exactly what's going on here. So they were doing the timing and everything else. So France, who is obviously shooting for golds, not shooting against each other. It was nice to see that those two countries were working together to try to up their game. Here we go. Korea starts off. Left.
8 left for Kim Woo-jin.
Left. I wonder if, because the Korean women just shot, if they had a chance to at least coach to coach or some athletes to talk to each other, because they'd know that it was all going left. Plus, I'm sure they're watching this.
10
there you go.
for Im Dong-hyun. Just telling him he's going to have to aim off just a bit.
Strong way to start.
You know, I think the windsock did his job.
He definitely did his job. If you're just joining us, what Vanessa's talking about is this lead-off shooter is often referred to as the windsock, the person who takes that sacrificial first arrow and then tells the team how the wind's blowing.
10. What a great opening for Brian. Sigh of relief.
Maxwell trying to get those jitters out. Now here's Hammy. See that arrow in his quiver? Significantly shorter than his.
Good shot.
8 9 high. That's good.
9 is high. Good shot.
So if the anchor Crispin Duenas
Nice and smooth.
can shoot a 10 here, it'll be a lead for Canada. Oh, 8 for Crispin. So just a point adrift goes Canada. Just feels like that was a big opportunity right there for Canada to put some extra pressure on Korea as they started off with that 8.
10.
I was
Wow.
going to say, you have a feeling that it's not going to be an 8 again.
No, he's dialed in.
Yep.
It only takes 1 for the Koreans.
Nice
Solid
shot,
shot.
yeah. The coach has a spotting scope in that box, so he can take a closer look at the target and let the athletes know what they just shot.
Oh, an 8 out to the left.
Wow.
This opens up the door for the Canadians a little bit.
Complete follow through.
You hear the Canadians talking about follow through on that release, making sure that that hand comes back.
Good.
Oh,
Another good
wonderful shot from Brian.
Good job, Brian. Good job.
It's first World Championships for Brian Maxwell. He's only been to 1 World Cup so far.
Seems to be dealing with the nerves very well. Hammy Nguyen up now. Ooh.
Oh, 7 high.
Wow, 7.
Keep it strong, Amy. Keep it strong.
All right, so now Crispin Duenas started off with an 8. He's got to put that behind him right now. His team needs him as the anchor. At 9.
So the 2 set points are going to go to Korea.
Much different in this match than we just had in the women's gold medal from the crowd here in Mexico. Every arrow the crowd was cheering every time a set was over and end was over. But now, the crowd just looking on.
10.
You know,
10, 10.
Canada
9, 8,
had their opportunities in this first set. They really did. Korea shot a solid 55, but 55 in no stretch is lights out.
9, 9.
So
8,
a lot of people were saying, oh, I'm surprised to see Canada in the finals here. But truth is, they've been revamping the system from about 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
The previous coach, national team coach Joan McDonald, she's been to more Olympics than I could even count. She did a great job in setting the foundation. They have a new coach, Sean Riggs, who's in the box right now, and he has a really great dynamic with the team. I'm actually not surprised to see them up here. They've been working a lot with sport physiologists, with Hexoskin, you know, during competitions, trying to get some biofeedback to help them shoot better.
Very interesting match for you, sitting next to you, being Korean Canadian.
I'm shaking. My heart's pounding.
I'm sure the athletes are feeling the same. Well, the Canadian athletes, the Korean athletes, for some reason, they just look very relaxed, very much in their normal cycle, their normal process.
Very experienced. They've been in this situation before. They want redemption. They wanted that gold. They're here to redeem that.
Being behind in the match, Canada will start off. So far for this archer, 10-10. They do it again, just high 9.
Good shot, good shot.
Keeping it in the yellow.
Brian's shooting really well. He has a 10-10-9 so far.
Yep.
Keep the flow.
Canada got by the Netherlands in the quarterfinals, Kazakhstan. And then they were defeated by France to get to where they are now.
Good shot
good
from
shot.
Hammy. X. That's what he needed right now.
Crispin, take your
And the
time.
team.
Finish the shot.
He has not found his rhythm right now, Crispin Duenas.
No, not characteristic of Crispin here. But he knows he's a good shooter, so he just has to focus on that and shoot his shots.
Coach Riggs giving him a vote of confidence. Korea's back up.
9 for Kim. Ooh, 8 for Im Dong-hyun.
Win nominal at this point.
자신 있게.
Telling him to shoot with confidence. 10.
And he does.
That's it.
So all tied up halfway through this second set. So the damage done for Canada with Crispin Duenas is 8. Wiped out. Basically, we're starting 0-0 at this point. How can Brian Maxwell answer?
He's looking solid.
Oh, wow.
My goodness. For a guy at his first Worlds, he's shooting fantastically.
First Worlds, what? Just going for it. Hammy's up.
Strong shot, Hammy.
Boy, if Hammy can duplicate his last shot of a 10, it's going to be a big boost for Canada.
8.
All right,
High
so
left. Yep.
31-year-old Crispin.
Lots
Duenas,
of time. 15 seconds.
13th in the world. A lot of experience.
Good arrow.
There you go. So a good 9.
Yep, just out.
Just out. So 54. So Korea now with an opportunity to snag 2 more points in the set system.
That, oh, X. Oh, his shot is so nice.
That shot right there could be the dagger for Canada in this set.
Oh. He's telling him to shoot. Take his time.
Time's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
goodness.
That's a 9-10 liner, and it looks like a 10.
Speaks
Okay, so
to his
now
mental
only
strength.
20 seconds left on the clock. As the clock ticks down. 15. He's going to get this off with no problem. And a 9. See? Even with that added pressure, you know, because Canada had allowed so many points to be lost, you know, like they kind of left the door open for Korea, even with a letdown and having to draw back again, it just seemed like Korea had it in command.
You know, I spoke to their sports psychologist a lot this week. She does a lot of work with them.
For
and
Korea?
Yeah, for Korea. They have to be some of the most mentally strong people in the world. The pressure that they deal with and the amount of experience that they have really adds to how strong they can be in competitions like this.
X, 10.
I think a lot of people,
9, 9.
when you're talking about archery, a lot of people really focus, you know, like athletes that are coming up,
Target 2.
focus on the strength part of it because, you know, strength to strength. And if you look at compound to recurve, recurve requires a lot more strength because you're holding all that weight. And I think the focus tends to be on the more physicality of it. But people oftentimes neglect what I think is more the most important part, that mental aspect. When you get into competition, you've got to have your mind calm in order to shoot good arrows, or else they're not going to go where you need them to go.
Exactly. The Korean sports psychologist said she thinks archery is probably about 80% mental.
Yeah, I would imagine she nailed that one. I think a lot of parents who are trying to develop their children into archery miss that point. Got to work on that mental game, how to keep the athlete happy, motivated, and how do you help your athlete deal with pressure. I tell you one thing that helps with pressure, usually anyway, is going to be experience. So you think the best shooter on Canada right now has the least amount of experience, as Brian Maxwell right now is absolutely crushing it. 3 10s and a 9 so far for the 31-year-olds.
Good shot.
Brian. Still a good shot for Brian.
Absolutely. We have a computer here.
Nice and strong,
We can click
Hammy.
on the athlete and we can check out all their stats and all their experience, and Brian's got nothing. And he is
He's
doing,
giving it all right now.
he's doing an amazing job.
Just high for
Same
Hammy.
spot, high left 8.
Making some more adjustments to his sight.
Nice and smooth.
And Crispin Duenas now needs to find the center.
Love his anchor point. 9.
Solid 9. So 26 in the first half for Canada. Now here comes the freight train.
Just watch Kim's shot. I love it. I could watch him shoot all day.
10. That's on the line. All it has to do is kiss that line and you get the higher value.
Shaking just a bit. It's a 10.
Seemed to affect him on that shot.
Oh has a very unconventional Korean way of drawing his bow.
Yes, very unique style. Now, to give you an example, O's poundage, so actually at full anchor is 46 pounds. So when you're at, and that's the thing that's different, one of the huge differences between a compound and a recurve. A recurve, you're holding all the energy of those bow limbs right on your face, and that creates that shaking. So,
Good shot, Brian.
Brian Maxwell with another 9.
We're gonna have to see some 10s here.
You can see Hammy as well. A little bit of a shake, holding that weight. Release.
Left 8. Yeah.
Hammy started off strong. Just started to slip here towards the end. 2 8s for Hamilton.
10 seconds. 5.
No.
Crispin.
Wow. So unfortunately for Crispin Duenas, he just couldn't find his rhythm for his team in this match. Wow. So unless something really happens with 12 points now, the difference, all Korea needs is 13 points between these two archers to win this one. Anything can happen though. Beautiful 9. 3 to win.
3 to win. I've never seen a Korean shoot a 3.
I mean, it would take something crazy, right? Butter on the fingers or something.
Oh,
that'll
whoa,
do it.
An X.
Wow.
Close
What a
the
way
match.
to win a bronze medal for Korea in the X ring. Good shooting all around for the Korean team. They started off with a 55, 56, 58. You can see the momentum continuing to go in the direction
10, 9.
of Korea. Canada with 53, 54, 51. But more importantly, Canada getting back into a medal round. Their program being rebuilt, and tremendous experience for Brian Maxwell, who is leading off for Canada. But for these 3, they'll get to stand on the podium and have a medal around their neck. Redemption for being knocked out early on.
The results are official. Hyundai Archery World Championships 2017. Men's recurve team bronze medalist representing.
All right, well, that match is over, Vanessa. How's your heart now? I mean, I can see you smile, the disappointment, you know, split between 2 countries.
It's tough. It's toughest for me because I know our Canadian men can shoot a lot better than I think they did today. They're all great archers individually, and I'm sure they're just happy to be here. I mean, being in the finals is a huge feat for Canada, but let me tell you, next World Champs,
Yeah.
future World Champs, there's going to be a lot more of us. You'll see it.
All right, so congratulations to really both those teams getting into this round, in Korea on that bronze, winning that bronze medal. We have one more match to go in this early day of Recurve Sunday, and we're getting to it. The final match of the day for team competition. For this portion of the program, in three-person team competition for gold medal, it will be Italy versus France. And coming up on the stage is the Italian team. The Italian team made up of Mario Nespoli, David Pascalucci, and Marco Galeazzo. Pretty good, huh?
Pretty good.
Italian.
Are you?
Yeah, but we've had a lot of help from the crew here at World Archery. Our Italians making sure we knew the proper pronunciation of the names. Now coming up onto the stage, the team from France, Pierre Plion, Thomas Chéron, Jean-Charles Valadon. And I'll tell you what, if you look at the elimination brackets on how these teams got to where they are, it has been quite the journey. You know, the Italian team was able to knock off Chinese Taipei, and then the United States, and then they went up against the Goliath Korea, and they won 5-4. As for France, they knocked off Japan, then Germany, and then Canada. So this will be the final gold medal match for this first half of the program. Later on this afternoon, we come back at you with mixed team competition and then individual medals.
Both teams are similar. They both have one veteran who's been around forever, a relatively newer, I would still call them veterans, and then a younger archer on each team. It'll be interesting to watch.
Italy with the first arrow at 9.
Nice shot for David.
Now, Marco Galeazzo.
Bravo, Marco.
Fantastic shot.
Piegarsi ancora a sinistra.
He does not move after that arrow is gone. Oof, Mario's shaking.
Wow.
Ok.
Still able to get that shot off.
Still a 9.
Buono ragazzi, state attento, un pochino.
A good first half for Italy. 10-9.
Et sur le rail,
Now, Chéron.
on reste dessus.
Oh,
That one just got away from
I don't think that's the wind.
Thomas Chéron.
Ouais.
Plion has got to shoot his own shot now.
Ouais, ouais.
8. So France opening up with some nerves.
Allez, premier set, de toute façon, c'est pour être chez nous ici. Du rythme, hein,
Like I
Chichi,
mentioned
du rythme.
before, at least with a little bit of experience on the practice field with Canada 2 days ago. Didn't look happy with that shot. You can see on the release, just
There's
Valadon.
JC. He's just giving some advice to his teammates. He has so much experience under his
Forte
belt.
ragazzi, dai.
sure does. Ranked number 2 in the world is JC. Back to Italy.
Molto destra.
A little bit of English on that release. Dot wasn't where he wanted it to be when the clicker went off. So Pasqualucci.
Here's Marco.
Bravo.
Solid shot
Just
there.
looks so solid.
And you know, when you see a 6 on the board too, if you're Italy, kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off.
Tiro è forte, dai.
Good communication between the Italian team to talk about conditions. What did this athlete just feel?
Allez, Chichi.
54. So Italy already with the set.
Et la décision jusqu'au bout.
Maximum points that France could score would have been 53.
Super.
But
Now it comes down to getting those shots off like you're talking about, getting
Exactly.
some confidence here as we go deep into this match.
Bien tiré cette flèche. Ouais,
Good shot. Exactly what France needs for their confidence.
he knows he's dialed in for the next set.
Allez, j'y sais. Jusqu'au bout.
Great.
That was unexpected.
They just have a straight line going across the target here. It looks like their arrows up and down are pretty good. Just going left and right a lot.
Some leadership from
Le deuxième un peu long. Pierrot.
Valadon, as well as the coach, as Italy right now is looking pretty relaxed, smiles across their face. So looking after the first set, Italy 9-10-9, 8-9-9.
10, 9, 9.
France, that's 6 really. Started
Beautiful
off,
shot.
set that tone. 6, 8, 9, 9, 10, 8. So all over the place.
I love these slow-mo shots. You can see his bow arm just extending towards the target.
You could also see in that slow-mo shot that finger sling that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So it just goes from whatever your thumb to one of the fingers you're comfortable with, and it just prevents the bow from leaving your hand and hitting the ground.
Yeah, actually, for training, sometimes we shoot without a sling and someone else catches your bow for you.
Is that right?
I did that once. The first time I ever did it, it was a reaction. My right arm, so I'm a right-handed shooter, my right arm reached over and tried to grab my bow before it touched the ground.
That would have been something. I mean, that would have been some Matrix stuff right there. Did you get it? No.
Almost.
Oh,
Almost. But somebody was catching my bow anyways.
Yeah, right. Where do they sit? Like below you? The arrow shoots over their head?
They just stand right behind you, and then they catch your stabilizers.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Et du rythme.
France starts off.
Et on
They're
l'accompagne
behind.
jusqu'au bout. On reste dessus.
Oh, no.
A 5.
Ouais, ouais. Allez, Chichi. Tout de suite.
I mean, it's hard because he shot a 6, 9, 5. What do you say to the archer as a coach
I don't
right
know.
now?
He's got some experience.
Jusqu'au bout.
20 years old. There you go.
C'est bien, Pierrot.
Pierre shooting well.
Pierre, tu vas ouvrir? Tu vas ouvrir. Chichi, on va laisser Pierre ouvrir.
Nine.
9 high.
Forte, dai.
Now over to Italy. Again, seeing that 5, they just have to have a lot of confidence. All right, little English on the release, but still a solid 9 in the gold.
Allez, ça joue.
Gagliazzo.
Eight.
L'equilibrio, eh. Allez. Sposti di Marco, anche prima a sinistra.
Great.
All right. So only 1 point now, the difference halfway through this set. And now it's back to Chiron.
Actually, France switched up their order here. I think they're
they
putting
did.
Thomas second.
Okay, so we'll see if this strategy is going to pay off for them.
Ouais.
Great.
Now, Chiron, although he's 20 years old, in Continental, in
T'en as deux un peu à droite quand même, Pierrot.
World Cup,
Look at his pinky is just shaking there a little bit left and right.
Ouais. Règle, règle.
what are you thinking looking at that shot? Why so far off to the left?
I wonder if it's just tension in his bow hand, maybe a little bit tighter.
I mean, Chiron has experience in Berlin this year France one-team competition.
He was also solid leading up to the matches today.
Yeah, and I mean, that was in August. It wasn't like it was, you know, that long ago. So Sharon has been in this situation before. Something is just not right. So hopefully his team can talk to him and calm him down a little bit. There's 48 points on the board for France. Now Italy has their chance. That was about as much English as I've seen on a bow to go into the 10 ring. That's impressive.
Let's see how their veteran Mauro Nespoli shoots this next shot.
Bravo, 9 sinistra, ancora sinistra.
Good shot there by Gagliazzo.
Just need a 5 to take the next 2 set points.
And a 10.
Great shot.
So just like that, France is down 4-0. Man, it just seems like a downward spiral right now for Thomas Charon in France. 20-year-old just can't seem to find his rhythm right now. I mean, you talked about how well he's been shooting. His average is usually a 9.1. That's over his time spent at this level, but for this particular tournament, a 9.488, so nearly 9.5 points per arrow. Had been up to this point shooting really well. There's a look at the clicker. You can see as the arrow releases that metal piece that goes down.
It's a great shot. So as archers come to full draw, we usually have about maybe 1 to 2 millimeters of arrow point under the clicker. And then we try to expand as we're aiming. And then as soon as the clicker goes, you release.
Have you ever had it where you're at full draw and the clicker goes off, but your pin isn't where it wants to be on the target and hold a little longer?
It does happen. You know, when you see archers maybe letting a shot down after the clicker goes, it might just be that. It might just feel something is off.
Yeah. Now, of course, when we get to this final stage, this is the shortest time that archers have to shoot their arrows. What you're talking about is basically 20 seconds per arrow. Normally, they have 40 seconds per arrow when you're in qualifications.
That's right.
And eliminations on the field.
9 to lead off.
Yep, that's what you need. You need it in the gold. That's the most important part. So Pliant, the solid 9. Now, can Chiron get in the gold? Okay, well,
to the other side.
To the other side. At this point, though, I think with 6 and a 5 under his belt, he'll take that 8 for the moment. Wow. Still trying to find their rhythm. It might be too late for France. It's Italy on the line. Pasqualucci. Maybe English is just his style.
Maybe.
I think so.
Or Italian?
Maybe, I don't know. Not English the language, but throwing that bow left and right. Gagliazzo. Solid shot. So 8-9 so far for Italy.
Bravo. Mauro, con fiducia, dai.
A 10 would give them a 2-point lead in this set.
And he does it. Great shot.
The 29-year-old ranked 14th in the world, Mauro Nespoli. So back to France. I mean, you can just look at that target face and how few arrow holes there are in the yellow is really telling the story. In this gold medal match.
10.
There it is.
That's what we wanted to see.
Only the third 10 for France.
Well, Thomas brought it back for his last shot. Or maybe his last shot.
This has to be a 10. Has to be, if France has any hope of staying alive in this match. Ooh. An 8, so a 51 score. It's a 51 score for the set, and I can't believe I'm saying this in a gold medal match, but it's France's best set score, best end round. They've 50-48 to 51.
Yeah, you're right, Greg.
Bravo.
Looks like an
8 high.
8 high. Pasqualucci.
Dai Marco.
2 8s in a row for
Metti
him.
dentro.
Marco Galeazzo.
Oh, a 7.
7. So a 9 to win, because a 9 would tie it up, and they would get that 1 point and split. It's not over yet. It's 8-7 so far.
Forte.
Ken Morrow. Look at him shaking.
Oh,
And he does
but he
it.
does
Wow. A 9-10 liner for Italy, and Italy with the gold. What a match. The nerves all around when you get to the final
That's
field
right.
here in Mexico, and the scores really show it, as Italy will win. And we didn't think we'd say this for a gold medal. 54, 54, 52. But it'll be enough to go 6-0, as France will stand on the podium with a silver medal.
Okay. 10, 10, 9.
So Vanessa, as we wrap up this morning, as we bleed into the early afternoon, as it's 30 minutes, just about 30 minutes past noontime, what are some of the takeaways that you're going to carry into the program that we're going to get going again in about a couple hours from now? What are some of the things you're seeing with this way this field is designed?
You know, some of the archers are starting off with their arrows over to the left. I think it'll be really interesting to see archers who have already been on this stage so far, archers who have their individual matches or maybe mixed team, and see if they might carry over some of those tips into the afternoon.
No question about that, as we have several of these archers that are competing in these team rounds that'll be showing up for individual as well as mixed teams. Im Dong-hyun, a lot of shooting today.
Yep. He hasn't been on the national team for a while. He was a fantastic archer, but he is back and he wants that world title. It's been 10 years since he's had that.
Im is going to, he just shot in team competition for bronze. Later on, he'll be shooting for gold in mixed team and then going for gold in the individual. So still coming up today, I mean, we have award ceremonies that'll be happening here in just a few moments. But later on, at 3 p.m. local time, 3 p.m. local time, we're going to have some great matches happening. Recurve mixed team for bronze. It'll be Japan against Great Britain. That's going to be a very interesting one, I think, because Great Britain only ranked 15th coming into after the ranking rounds for Great Britain, 10th in the world, going up against a number 5 ranked team in Japan. And then in the recurve mixed team, we're going to see Korea versus Germany. So Germany ranked 18th in the world, but 3rd this weekend. And then as we transition into the individuals in the final 4 medal matches that we'll have here from Mexico City 2017 Hyundai World Archery Championships, we're going to have bronze will be Mackenzie Brown against Tanya Ting from Chinese Taipei, and shooting for gold, Ksenia Perova from Russia against Chong Hai-jin. Hai-jin, sorry.
That was
As
better.
you're looking at me, sorry. Chong Hai-jin.
Yeah, that was nice.
Thank you very much. And then in the recurve men shooting for bronze, we'll have Russia's Arsalan Boldanov against Netherlands' Steve Weiler. And of course, the final match of the day coming up later on this afternoon will be gold recurve men, where we'll have Im Dong-hyun against Wei Chun-hyeng from Chinese Taipei. But right now, it's all about these award ceremonies as we await the arrival of the medals for the women's teams that have already taking the field.
Gifts will be presented by Organizing Committee President.
Los presentes serán entregados por el presidente del comité organizador,
Horacio de la Vega. Bronze medal representing Chinese Taipei.
medalla de bronce representando a Chinese Taipei.
Kim Shi-jiao. Lin Yu-Xuan. Han Yang-ting. Silver medal representing Mexico.
Y medalla de plata representando a México.
We knew that crowd was going to erupt for silver medal Mexico.
Oh, look at Ida. Oh,
Mariana Padilla. Aida Roman. Alejandra Valencia. Gold medal and world champions representing Republic of Korea.
Medalla de oro y campeonas del mundo representando a República de Corea.
Han Kei-jin. Choi Mi-sun. Kang Chae-young. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
And now, the national anthem for the Republic of Korea.
Señoras y señores, por favor, pónganse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de República de Corea. Señoras y señores, por favor, démosle un cálido aplauso a nuestras medallistas.
Well, as we wrap up the medal presentations from the Zocalo here at the Mexico City 2017 Hyundai Archery World Championships, we have one more ceremony coming at you. You don't want to go anywhere because the men are coming up next. Going to be interesting to see the looks on the faces of the Korean men as they're looking at the Italian team. You go back and look at score for score.
Yeah. Where was that in the semis?
Absolutely. An excited and packed crowd here in the Zocalo. Some of the shots you're seeing, the architecture around here. The building that you were looking at when the archers were on the field, as you look down towards the target, you'll see it in the background once the athletes come out. Spectacular architecture all over the place. That is actually the Metropolitan Cathedral of Mexico. That's behind where you're looking at right now. I'll show it to you in a little bit. But there's a cathedral here that's in the Zocalo that took almost 250 years to complete. The first brick was laid in the year 1571.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Recurve men team.
Señoras y señores, la ceremonia de premiación.
What a job Mexico City has done for the last 10 days of this event to host this competition.
After the earthquakes, we were wondering if we were still going to have the World Championships. The organizing committee has done an incredible, incredible job.
You can see the building off to the left in the background. There's the cathedral. It took over 100 years to complete the interior of that cathedral.
World Archery First Vice President.
Las medallas serán entregadas por el primer vicepresidente de World Archery.
Mario Scarzella. Gifts will be presented by Mexican Olympic Committee President.
Los presentes serán entregados por el presidente del Comité Olímpico Mexicano.
Carlos Padilla. Bronze medal, representing Republic of Korea.
Medalla de bronce, representando a República de Corea.
Kim Dong-hyun. Kim Woo-jin. Ko Jin-hyek. representing France.
Medalla de plata, representando a Francia.
Thomas Giraud. Pierre Fillon. Jean-Charles Valladon. Gold medalists and world champions representing Italy.
La medalla de oro y campeones del mundo representando a Italia.
Marco Galeazzo. Mauro Nespoli. David Vascalucci. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Italy.
The national anthem of Italy.
Pónganse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Italia. Señoras y señores, por favor, demos un cálido aplauso a nuestros medallistas.
So with that, the award ceremonies come to a conclusion for the men. And we'll be wrapping things up and hitting the reset button as we take a couple-hour break. We'll be back up in about 2 hours and 15 minutes from the Mexico City 2017 Hyundai World Archery Championships. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. On the other side of this, we're going to have individual medals. We're going to crown world champions in the mixed teams and individuals. You don't want to miss it right here for World Archery.
To all of the medalists, thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you enjoyed the competition. We hope to see you back this afternoon at 3 p.m. for the mixed team and individual matches.
Felicitamos a todos los medallistas. Gracias por acompañarnos en la mañana de hoy. Esperamos hayan disfrutado de la competencia y verlos de nuevo en la tarde, hoy a las 3 p.m. para las finales por equipos mixto e individuales. Este es el campeonato del mundo. México 2017. atletas que disputarán el partido por la medalla de bronce en equipos Recurve masculino.
On target number 1, representing Republic of Korea.
En la placa número 1, representando a República de Corea.
Okay? Then? Yeah. Choi, this is the 13th world title for Korean women. How did it feel to shoot those last 3 tens and become world champions again?
마지막 이제 세 번째 지금 그 월드 챔피언 팀으로 됐는데 어떻게 이제 마지막 그 경기를 잘 마무리할 수 있었는지.
저희가 이제 1년 동안 겨울 때부터 열심히 준비했고 네, 월드컵에서도 이제 12월 달부터 1년 동안 열심히 준비했고요. 네, 월드컵에서부터 이제 경험을 차근차근 쌓아왔기 때문에 오늘 이렇게 좋은 결과 나와가지고 너무 기쁘고 이제 남은 경기도 이제 잘 준비해서 잘 끝났으면 좋겠습니다.
We trained from last December, from last year, and we got a lot of experience from the World Cup series this year. So it was good for us, and we finally made it. And today's performance was really good, and because of the experience throughout this season. So I'm happy with that, extremely happy with that. And we still have the tournament today, so I hope so. The remaining tournament could be a fantastic event for us, Korea.
Okay. So Chang and Kang were swapping the order in the match. Why was that, and what did it help?
혜진이하고 그 채영이하고 중간에 그 순서를 바꿨는데 어떻게 해서 그렇게 되었는지 그리고 그 어떤 전략이 있었는지 말씀해 주시죠.
저희가 이제 연습 때부터 순서를 바꾼 게 아니라 연습 때부터 제가 이제 1번에 들어가고 제가 1번이랑 제일 마지막 주자를 연습 때부터 해왔었고 중간에 이제 세영이가 중간에 들어가서 두 발을 연달아서 쏘는 걸 연습을 했었어요. 그래서 그 순서를 바꾼 거는 잘못 보신 것 같아요.
It wasn't actually changed the order because from the practice Chang shot first and third, and Kang shot in the middle. Two arrows in the middle. That is the order of the shooting. So maybe we didn't change the order of shooting during the competition.
Okay, and this is your first world champion title, your first gold medal. How did it feel to shoot in that arena with the loud Mexican? And how did it feel to take a gold? Yeah.
강채영 선수는 이번에 세계 선수권 대회 처음 단체전에서 금메달을 땄고 그다음에 멕시코 관중들이 엄청 많은 상황에서 이 경기를 이겨냈는데 그 소감이나 느낌이 지금 어떠신지 말씀해 주시죠.
일단 첫 판에는 긴장이 많이 돼서 제 자세가 많이 안 나왔는데 점점 갈수록 긴장이 풀리면서 제 자세를 찾으려고 했고 그래도 무엇보다도 금메달이어서 더 저희 셋이서 팀워크를 맞춰서 금메달을 따낼 수 있어서 너무 행복해요.
First of all, I'm extremely happy with the gold medal. Actually, at the beginning of the first set, I was quite nervous with the environment in the competition field. But I was able to get used to the environment, and it's getting better and better as the set goes. So it worked actually. So we did it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask in English, if you could reply in Italian. A huge victory for you. Just tell me how it felt when you shot that last arrow, Mauro.
È stato fantastico, i ragazzi hanno tirato bene, ci serviva un giallo, sono salito un po' teso ma credo di averla tirata bene, la freccia ha colpito il 10 e la cercavamo da parecchio, sono molto contento.
You're a hugely experienced member of this team. You've been in many finals. How does this compare?
Beh, è stata una gran bella finale, finalmente ho vinto per la prima volta il titolo del mondo a squadre, mi mancava.
e è stata una gran bella vittoria e fatta con una gran bella squadra.
France didn't put up too much of a fight. Were you aware how in control of the match you were?
Abbiamo controllato il match come meglio sapevamo fare, abbiamo gestito la nostra gara indipendentemente da quello che facevano i francesi e siamo riusciti a portare questa medaglia a casa dopo la sconfitta a Copenaghen.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Well done.